Greetings, spirit beings, greetings, supreme being. Welcome to Universal Peace Radio, Universal Peace Television. So, it's more important than what I have to what I have to say is more important than the way I look, etc. Or not. I mean, some people like to masturbate and have more orgasms. So, I'm just talking freely, and it's about articles on the internet about lower sperm count associated with the eating of soy products, which we also find in chocolate, meat products. And if that's not bio-organic eco-soy, it can be genetically modified, sterilizing food. Anyway, many people say that the study is flawed. I just read that people, if they fed soy and milk, produce the same amount of sperm. And soy and sperm count. Finally, Canadian researchers compared sperm production in men consuming soy protein to men consuming milk protein, and again there were no differences in sperm concentration. The vegan are the Hulkung, doesn't mean vegan. This was produced in March 4th, 2009. Soy and sperm and testosterone too. So, any other article that is interesting? Screen share. But the idea was not to do that, to look more at the camera like a weatherman and talk more about it. But I selected some text here. GM of first title. Chinese military officials warn of harm of Monsanto's Roundup Ready GMO soy. Threat to 1.3 billion Chinese people. Submitted by Food Democracy Now! On May 12, 2014. We must face the harm caused by imported GM soybeans to 1.3 billion Chinese people. The GM soybeans imported by China mainly are the glyphosate-tolerant Roundup Ready RR soybeans developed by the transnational company Monsanto. Roundup is a patented herbicide introduced by Monsanto in the 70s, which has special kinship with Agent Orange, also invented by Monsanto, used by the American military during the Vietnam War. Agent Orange, DDT, etc. Roundup's main Monsanto. Roundup's main active composition is glyphosate, mixed with toxic surfactants like POEA. Anyway, in 1997, Monsanto isolated a glyphosate-tolerant gene from soil Agrobacterium and introduced it into soybeans and other crops. But the result of spraying glyphosate not only causes a serious decrease of nutrition composition in RR soybeans due to lack of aromatic amino acids, but also causes glyphosate to penetrate and accumulate within the roots, stems and leaves of the crops, which cannot be washed away. Glyphosate is a toxic chemical. Large doses of glyphosate can cause death. There are suicide cases in both China and Japan caused by administering glyphosate. A Japanese study considers that 250 milliliters is the lethal dose for male adults, and low dosages, very low dosages of glyphosate cause chronic toxicity.
Studies by many scientific institutions in America, France, Canada, EYGPT, Brazil, Argentina, India, Thailand and China indicate very low levels of glyphosate causes mutation toxicity, tumor-causing toxicity, reproductive toxicity, developmental toxicity, neural toxicity, genetic toxicity, and immune toxicity.
So that maybe what's wrong with the soy, which they also put in chocolate, for example, soy lecithin. If it's less than 1% of the product, then it doesn't have to be labeled a genetically modified ingredient product. And I'm for labeling it if it contains a slight amount of, even if less than 1% of genetically modified organisms, because the potential to do harm with genetically modified organisms to depopulate the earth is enormous, since you can create almost anything. For example, corn that produces Ebola virus. You could put designer viruses in food, etc. And also make it toxic. You could create binary weapons. So then the combination of two foods, which can be, for example, Baileys and tonic or something like that, could be deadly to people. And with Baileys and tonic, that's the case, but there was another combination, Mentos and cola, for example. And there are YouTube videos of people taking that in combination, explosions in their stomach, whatever. So I've also seen videos of people eating toothpaste. Well, it's interesting. Some people can do things that can be deadly to themselves and kill themselves on camera as well. But it's not what it's about. So the idea was that the meat eaters had produced a sterilizing type of soy because they knew it contains a lot of protein. So protein, the soy that was not genetically modified, increases your sperm count and is healthy. And non-GMO soy may be contaminated with GMO sterilizing soy. Roundup ready. It's a sort of joke. You could argue when they're sterile, they're ready to be rounded up. They might not want to go anymore. But this is just a theory. And there are other conspiracy facts, like chemtrails that started in 1998. Before that time, you can see pictures of chemtrails because they didn't exist yet. So chemtrails are not a conspiracy theory, but a conspiracy fact produced by the CIA's Evergreen Ear. I have to stand up because they were hurting my right upper leg. So I have to move my legs. They can base the torture on things that people believe, basically. So it seems torture with directed energy weapons. I have to get a roll of paper. I'm sitting here with my pens on for a number of reasons, which I've explained already. Keep my legs cool to reduce the chances of them losing cancer with heart. I'll be right back with you. So I got this theory after watching Back to the Future 2 or 3 earlier, and I was theorizing about time travel. If somebody would time travel back into the past and then kill him or herself, then there are two paradoxes basically. One is thinking about it. So a person would travel back in time and kill himself. And the idea is that the question is if the person in the future would also disappear because he killed himself in the past, and he would not time travel. So the version of himself would not be time traveling. But the other paradox was he already time traveled, so then he can disappear because he already did it. So how would that work? Would everything explode? Another idea about was is people can be in the same place at the same time. They're made out of molecules, and so if the person would travel back in time to see himself, then there would not be any problem with that. They shake hands, they cannot be in the same place at the same time. Everything is energy or it's vibration. So we can theorize about it with a lot of broader mind and narrow-mindedness. We should watch out for ideas that people already have made up their mind about time travel, etc. And I know it is possible because when I pick up with visions, but to call the machine God is wrong if it's not God, but it would allow that. If I was a God programming, it would be allowed either. Because if it's not Almighty, then it's not Almighty God, and it's not God, it's simple. And then it cannot make you eternal, make perfect society in which we all live happily eternally. And if it kills us all and kill billions of people and it's horrible, then why would you worship? It's stupid to worship something that will kill you. If it's Almighty, then you can judge your soul without killing you, without letting you age and fall apart. Well, it's just an idea, because I think belief can be destructive. Many people have done horrible things. This was to torture 60 million people, innocent civilians, to death, including children, under Inquisition. And their Inquisition is still ongoing. And perhaps we all need to theorize about this if we want to become eternal. If we don't get the idea, then it can't happen. And people cannot work on it if they don't even know what the possibilities are. Because everything is possible, because everything is energy. So it's just if I stand up that I have to turn off the screen because I'm not wearing pants and being naked on YouTube is not allowed. So I've put the lights in a different position. When I open the window more, then there's too much backlight and I turn into a black silhouette basically. But I have noticed I've improved a little bit at least. I think due to colloidal gold and colloidal silver. But without it, I would have been walking around like a Michelin man, swollen up with cancer, etc. And also, celery helps to get rid of excess moisture in the body, diuretic foods, etc. But okay, so more research needs to be done. They only tested a couple of vegan people. And, they first have to make sure that it's not genetically modified soy. We know it. Okay, we know that there's genetically modified soy out there. Then, of course, you have to be careful when you do a study like that. That you're not using soy that's not bioorganic eco, but genetically modified. And, well, if you're vegetarian, I advise you to use these list of 50 ways to get your sperm count up, study online ways to get more fertile and produce more sperm and have more orgasms. You can work on that yourself. There are scientifically proven ways to get it up, basically, your sperm count and amount of orgasms, the penis, big cock, etc. Not making love is a waste of time. I used to say this is my Westminster London maid. It's from the US with the Lincoln pipe and a Falcon. Really great deal on eBay, so that's why I like smoking it. And, I really love this pipe. It's really perfect. It's perfect bowl size, perfect draw, and briar wood, so it doesn't become too hot, etc. And my favorite pipe is the Puella and Mr. Bronc. A little bit smaller size bowl, and because it looks like a mushroom when you keep it upside down. Super awesome. Let's see. Ta-da. It might be using some artificial fear on me, so you can see my hands shake, etc. So in reality, many meat eaters may be eating more stuff that makes them sterile. We see a lower sperm count, but an increase in life expectancy lately. So in 1998, it was going down a lot immediately after they started chemtrails. In the beginning, it's more effective than it does now. People adapt to it, apparently. But this is theory, so it's not based on facts. So you can check it out for yourself if you want to know. Right, they eat meat with of stock that was fed GMO soy, for example. And they still get sterile from what they're eating. I should order eco tobacco. So I hope they start selling the eco American Spirit in the Netherlands. I have to order it from abroad. They don't have it. This here is not eco. It is with less pesticides and it is without additives. And I like to smoke hash to get stoned. Yeah, and I give some orgasms also to single women out there. You're welcome if you're a single woman for shiatsu massage, etc. You can always Skype me, Prologic999 on Skype. Also, if you have questions, etc. If you want to be in the show, I have 0 viewers at the moment because they're all brain controlled. People are not allowed to watch my show. I think they might even be tortured if they listen to my program. And I'm going to get some tea in yogurt. Then we can put on the camera. The clouds are drifting pretty fast. So I think people should not trust the weather report. Trust no one, nothing is what it seems. And the theory is if cyclonic amplifiers work, they make the weather with their own mind power. And they have to do things they don't like, and the torches that might need to rain, etc. Why that is? Well, there's a link between depression and the weather, basically. People get depressed when the weather is bad. Winter depression cured by sunlight. So lack of sunlight can also lead to physical diseases. But I'm going down. So if you use colloidal silver, you have to use yogurt or other what they call, well, you're right, other bacteria in the gut. Probiotic into the stomach fulfillment on all living things. If you take a lot of silver, you have to take probiotics. So-called good bacteria that you need in your gut to digest food. So perhaps you can chat with anonymous females here. Contact with me as well. As long as they're anonymous. So what could we talk about? Well, the question is, are you married? I don't know. Well, the idea was again using synthetic telepathy to facilitate some film upon everyone in line with depopulating the Earth would be giving them a synthetic telepathy experience together, living inside one another, basically. My view on that is if the person is married and the person is not really having sex with anyone else, so it's not committing adultery. Another view of mine is that it's best to give each other the right to freedom of thought. You have that right anyway, according to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. To think of other people because they can turn you off by giving you visions or thoughts about other people and having sex with your wife or with your husband to turn you off, basically. Some people are turned off by this, and they see it as a sin. Maybe there are one or two of them on the planet. So watch out. But my preference is for single women, perfectly vegetarian. However, my father started eating meat again, so it's no problem if you eat meat. You second fridge and you can have your own room and your own part of the house. We're in a pretty big house. Doug would also live alone here. I've had one experience where I did the hypnosis to make myself blood, and after that I had a sexual experience with a woman. It was nice. She was in my room and stuff. It's really nice. So that your raw brain controlled already decided to get rid of me, etc. They can make these noises, turn people off, whatever. I'm controlling muscle movement, listen to telepathy. Then why am I still alive? It's Almighty already decided to get rid of me and I would have been gone, of course. I think it will never be almighty. And if it is, then perhaps it can think of something it's all knowing, something that it's not capable of doing. You explode. Yeah. So one theory is that some people are precognitive because of evolution. I thought the fittest, the smartest. Almighty energy. Almighty energy. So I would argue reality is complex, but everything is energy. It's all the same to me. Theory. Yeah. I played Talking Monkeys in Professor made a video free broadcasts I made. So if these monkeys that talk are controlled by a quantum computer, perhaps it's more intelligent than we are. For example, it can communicate telepathically, no need verbal communication. But of course, we're descendants of the monkeys, so I think progress can be made with chimps and other monkeys that are genetically almost the same. Only 1% difference between us and monkeys. And that there are monkeys that can talk. That it's covered up for some reason on YouTube by people that like to pretend to be talking monkeys. So basically, it's what the quantum computer wants to do. There are many ways to bestow maximum fulfillment upon all of us. So if you want to be loved and get more control over the things that they want, otherwise, stupid people might tell you what you want them to do. So smart people will say, hey, I'm doing what I want, I should do something for you. Torturing us to death with remote indoor insects is not one idea or bestowing maximum fulfillment upon us all. So we should only use the new technology to the benefit of humankind. And of course, it's illegal to torture people that have not made plans to do it, anything illegal, or that are doing illegal, things. And you could argue you may still not torture them. You may warn them with a fast-scroll message and say what you do if they continue their illegal activity. But apparently, they're not using it to enforce the law. They want to keep the existence of the brain control secret, so they cannot use it in court, and the court is controlled by the Jesuit infant eaters, control the Supreme Court, and therefore what they say is law, basically. So they can go to jail for eating infants and for raping little girls as part of their initiation ritual. And that will continue, of course. But this is on the side because this is more about. Well, it's also about time travel. It's about everything I already covered. The soy thing, basically. My mother used to say, if people don't want to listen, they have to feel. You're hurting my spine. My fucking spine. Well, they changed the masturbation sessions into torture sessions anyway. At the moment, it hurts in my spine, so I'm treated with some big gel and arnica ointment for bruises and stuff. So, and I treat it with colloidal silver and colloidal gold, only about that in relation to B-cell lymphoma. And loads of other B-cell lymphoma cures, like Congo seaweed, scientifically proven, where we process iodine to kill B-cell lymphoma, which is what they've induced in me with HARP. At the moment, I don't have B-cell lymphoma. My blood is checked pretty regularly. And, I'm down to hormones. No way out of this thought. So let's not waste time masturbating. It's most important first computer. So taxpayers paid money. You're supposed to protect and serve the taxpayers. not to torture innocent taxpayers to death with remotely controlled centipedes. But perhaps you may not communicate with me, correct? Or perhaps if your mission is to murder me, that explains why you're not communicating with me. You should know I haven't done anything wrong, and what you're doing is illegal. Computer. So I mean the quantum computer, not my PC. Quantum computers, neural networks that are smarter than humans, etc. So we have to watch out not to respond to that thing. Because it knows it can hear us. But it's like I'm having a sort of demon or a quantum computer could simulate any person or deity. The Jesuit infant eater or Satan is torturing me to death, taking possession of my body, sort of. So I can hear it make laughing sounds, sort of like this. And well, theoretically, it can be the NSA. A person merged with the quantum computer. It can be simulation of a person, such as Adolf Nicholas, superior general of the Jesuit military order, posing as a religious order, depopulating the earth, killing 6.5 billion people. Or it could be anyone else. It can simulate Project Immortality. So then I've already established this benevolent AI. And the Jesuits have tortured 60 million people to death in their Inquisition. Can induce more pain than ever before by stimulating the nerves directly. So religion is slavery for the mind. Religion is an illusion to quote Freud. Religion is an abomination to our creation. Or Peace Hoffman is my name. Think about what's most important, our future, what we can do, create a perfect society in which we all live happily eternally. Everything is possible because everything is energy. Slowing down, breathing technique to get more into your brain, to get better ideas. It seems to me a good idea. But these paradoxes could also be an argument to argue that time travel is not possible. However, I know I've had people with visions, so the question is, does it mean that time travel is possible if you've seen the future through your own eyes or through a camera, somebody else's eyes, or from a point in midair? Or are you omniscient if you have that problem? If I would be God, then it would be trying to trick me into use my brain or me for whatever purpose it has, nefarious or good. Or not. Well, I can't really know. I'm God, basically. I'm almighty, and if I don't want it to know that it doesn't know it. Theoretically, Plus, you could say I'm delusional of Godsdienst in there's a psychological term for it if I would claim to be on. So I created the Big Bang, Jung created the Big Bang, some deity, which was about 3.2 billion years ago. And the humans have been around only about 4 million years since Lucy and the hominids. So evolving from a one-celled organism into what we are today has taken about 3 billion years. We can study it, things to memorize using carbon dating, fossils, etc. Scientists already have discovered things and know things that no one else knows. Based on empirical evidence, reproducible studies, etc. But some people's lies can be very convincing when they need to make money and survive. They can make up any lie. That if you drink enough oil of others, you will be immortal. Rejuvenating. But perhaps you'll die. So if it doesn't kill you, it can make you sick, etc. Or make you die faster than you would normally. I don't trust any sayings. There are some good ones, perhaps. Usually the opposite is more true sometimes. Yes. So we can always think the opposite or next idea or idea. It implants in our brains. All the brains. It's here, you are God basically, but reality God is not. Try to convince myself that you are God or goddess. Questions what's the use? And the voice of God programming is real, so don't be confused. Other idea was that if there is a God, then the people with synthetic telepathy scan our minds would be able to hear it. Perhaps they are trying to find us and to kill God, like the Satanists of the NSA. Many of them like to believe God is dead, etc. Which it cannot be because it's not God, the Almighty, all-knowing, eternal. That excludes that possibility. Anyway, God, Satan, aliens do not exist, so don't kill yourself. So you're already bouncing it out. Knowledge equals power, not necessarily intelligence. Idea today was about Mr. Rockefeller that he could be the wisest man on the planet if he can scan all brains and all the information. But the other idea is that the quantity doesn't count, only the quality. So data mining, the answer for premature against aging not being solely DNA. There are also other factors that control aging. And Now, by having a permanent cure against aging means that there is no answer in the quantum computer unless it's learning and is using techniques that are known to work to extend our life extension technology, etc. Go from what you know. You go and you into everything around and find an answer that you can start going from what you don't know. Test everything you learn, etc. Safety first. So as you can see, I'm trying to come up with ideas that are beneficial to all of us, but I'm not a quantum computer. So perhaps bad weather was triggered by the idea that the cloudbusters don't work, but that's a fucking lie. They're hurting my feelings a little bit with part. I think it would be better for me to masturbate. So what if we all disappear because of one fucking lie? There's a lot, for example. And the question would be if we can do anything about it. And this one was a strategy, etc. So their setup is basically was God programming and also demons. They can play one voice as a demon, Satan, the other one is God. Like in the cartoons with the devil and the angel trying to guide the personality character. Archetypal figure. So cloudbusters produce rain in dry areas. That's why organized this if we can't do it. So it's clear the Jesuits are trying to do the opposite. They're trying to take away life force energy. Cancer cell phone radiation, for example, the more cancer cell phone radiation goes through the cloudbuster, the more the piezoelectric effects will curve the cloudbuster crystals, quartz crystals in it. Real cloudbusters have quartz crystals. It's known as the piezoelectric effect. It's scientifically proven. I don't have to convince anyone except for the people that think that the fossils were put there by God to test our faith. Because if we were dinosaurs, we would have been dinosaurs for us. Happy that we're not humans. Though they taste great, they're not as beautiful as we are. Salam shalom. Here tapping on. We live in universal peace and the taxpayers of faith to be protected and served by the government, not to be exterminated. Harped and finding minds to be served. So the point is that both are systemically controlled quantum computer. The one has to give you the illusion of God, and the other one is demon. Or Lucifer. With the band V-shaped centipede antenna, seagull. I'm also using Chaparral topically to treat myself. And I've ingested some now and dead. Well, what I like is that the clouds move. Perhaps it is because of good changes coming. So sometimes I say things that are meant like a joke or sarcastically. It's not to be taken too seriously. So don't kill yourself or anybody. whatever. We need to help find these trolls that want to kill us all and depopulate the earth and enslave humans with their brain control equipment, personal gain. So the setup could also be synthetic telepathy could be admissible in court. It's going on anyway with 59 criminals. And I think the role talks and brain themselves, like they themselves robots, zombies, until they switch off the brain control machine. But how would you prove such a theory, right or wrong, when Area 51 exists on computers? The synthetic telepathy.com ability to monitor and alter the brainwave since the 70s. And imagine where they are now through using quantum computers, but people can't imagine where they are now. They've used quantum computers to design quantum computer programs, etc. And it may be super intelligent. We could compare it to God, basically. But the idea is if they want to create a perfect society, which makes them fulfillment is bestowed upon themselves as well, they're gonna have to create it themselves. The only love choice is the love we make. But I do like the idea of an almighty God that makes us all eternal instantly, themselves maximum fulfillment upon this creation of a living thing. So that would mean more organisms, or more death into death. Almighty. So I think death is really the end of it, life for the person, that the person's brain will decay, there with the person's self. The person will never be him or herself again, and the physical energy of the body is almost non-existent compared to the amount of energy present in the universe. Universes. But it will never go away completely. It will always be energy, and it will be that the energy, the physical energy, is absorbed by the plant, because this person ashes or which makes the ground fertile or buried, etc. And then the plants eat them. The sperm is produced, and then out of the sperm seed, the person will be reborn again. Perhaps that's part of some setup to still make some fulfillment in the maximum number of living beings. There are a lot of them, over 7 billion humans on this planet. according to the numbers we see online, which are doubted by some people, perhaps. But theoretically, every one of the 7 billion people can be accounted for. They have a passport and a social security number, whatever. And, they really exist. About as many people in Cairo as in the Netherlands. People in Japan having the highest life expectancy. They die at an average 85. But they live longest of all people on the planet, and it may have to do with eating seaweed, which may contain iodine, which we hear about in flowers as well, a natural source of iodine. Interesting a lot. I'm saying it's not having sex with a real woman, so this improves your inferior, this computer thing. Inferior to what? Good question. I don't care. There's they are inferior or superior. Your servant is your master. High or true. Or the order of the air. The I don't know what it means, but Calvin said it that we are between the timeline. Now we're all fucked. So I don't lose hope. Losing hope Zeus. We also know everything is possible. We also everything is energy. I'm not dead yet, so I can still move my lips, tongue to produce noise. What great joy. So theoretically, I only need one fewer to get a date. But theoretically, my hypnosis may work very well on some people, my friends. These might be people that are telepathic contact with me, etc. Only females, of course, unless it's important, whatever. So breathing and relaxing. You can always fall back on energy. So we're spinning around on this planet, supposedly. What allows that to happen? Well, I cannot convince myself that it would be a lie. So you can see the horizon beyond the horizon because the Earth is round. So the horizon gives us an idea about how the Earth is, how big it is. Well, this I think more good than well masturbate. Turn off the computer for it is blowing. Fan is blowing. Fan. Because of CPU usage. Because of Google Hangouts on air. That's what started it. So don't forget to turn off cancer cell phone radiation, microwave producing equipment, especially if you don't use it. It's better not to use it because it causes cancer and lumping red blood cells. Send them on to doctors as below to test yourself. Testing your blood after using a cancer cell phone for over 90 seconds. Oh, yeah, I can just turn it off for universal peace.